Hello and welcome to Broadsword Wargaming. For this video, I got 4 different commission painters to paint 4 different Killteam factions. I'm going to show you the models, tell you a little bit about each painter, and then talk about my experience of using commission painting. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do click that subscribe button for more videos to come, or check out the links below if you wish to support the channel in any other way. Commission painting. It's a topic I don't really know much about. I've never spoken about it before. I've never used a commission painter, and nor do I really know any commission painters. So it seemed like a good time to sort of broach the topic and talk about it in general. For those of you who follow the channel at all, you'll know I have an absolutely horrendous pile of shame. Between the channel growing, working more at the studio, working at my job, I just don't have time to paint my own models. It's not that I really doubt my ability to paint. I don't think I'm the world's best painter, nor am I an awful painter, but I just don't have the time. So commission painting seemed like the answer. So here in front of me, I have 4 different factions painted by 4 different painters. All of them are awesome. I've got Tau, Custodes, Deathwatch, and Harlequins. Just before I go into talking about all of the models and the painters, I'll talk a little bit about the cost of commission painting, because I think that's quite relevant. For the purposes of clarity, I haven't paid these guys to paint the models. I paid for the models, and they've taken part in this, and I'm really, really grateful. Just to sort of join in on a big collab effort, talk about painting, show off some of their lovely work, and I get the opportunity to have some awesome kill teams. And if you know me again, you'll know I love lovely panning shots on nice boards of beautiful models. I'd quite like to talk a little bit about what you think would be a reasonable cost for someone to do this kind of work. Now, a lot of work goes into commission painting. Obviously, we know that not only are you paying for the time, the models themselves, you're paying for the skill and the ability that all of these different painters have picked up throughout their life. Alongside that, we've then got equipment, paints, all that kind of stuff. Take into account time, skill, materials. How much do you think, as viewers, do you think they should be charging for this kind of time? I've seen various commission painters online saying they'll do a model for £1.50 a model. That to me seems very, very cheap. Anyone that's spent any time doing anything freelance knows that all of these things require time, effort, and training. I myself have been working as an actor for like 10, 15 years. I've gone and done jobs when I was younger, when I was like 21, with the equity minimum then might have been £60 to £65 a day for me going out and doing work between 9 and 5, or 8 hours of work. That to me seems very cheap. Would I do that now? Certainly not. I don't think something like £15 to £20 as a self-employed person is too much. Take away tax, as you say, time, there's no support when you don't have sick days, you don't get holiday pays, you're not entitled to anything really when it's an invoiced job. Although I'm not going to give you, or can't give you, the exact prices for these models, if you guys want to leave comments below letting me know what you think you would value these kinds of jobs at, that's amazing. I'd love to talk about it. I'm not here to defend or attack anyone. I just think it's a really interesting topic to talk about, and it's something that we don't really talk about much. But enough about that, onto the good bit. I'm going to show you some beautiful models by some amazing painters. The first models I'm going to talk about are the Harlequins. These were painted for me by Liam from Pheonix Commissions. He has a Facebook page, an Instagram, a budding YouTube as well. Check out the links below in the description. Give him a follow and a subscribe if you like his work. Personally, I think these models look great. I don't know Liam. We've messaged a few times. We've got a few friends in common, but that's about it. I actually dropped him a message months ago now, asking if he wanted to take part in this, and he agreed to do so. So thank you very much, Liam, for doing that and sending me these awesome models. The models themselves, as you can see, have a beautiful deep purple on the sort of underclothes with a really bright and vibrant yellow. These really fit the Harlequin vibe. They're not all diamonds and gems. They're kind of like a flatter but really strong contrasty looking set of models. He's done some freehand for me. Freehand is something I know I can't do, so already I'm getting something here that I personally can't do. He's done some spades, some little dice, done some little flicky filigree as well, which is just something I'm awful at. I've tried it a few times. I suppose if I want to get better, I should try a bit more. When it came down to the paint job, I left Liam to do whatever he wanted to do. I gave him full artistic license. The only thing I said was, these are the loadouts and these are the models I'll be sending. He picked the Harlequins out of a few different models I offered, and I was really, really pleased with that because there's something I'm not that comfortable painting. I'm quite good with armor now and a few other bits, but different varied coloured cloaks. I use an airbrush myself, and the problem with these would be I'd only be able to airbrush one of the colours. I guess I'd have to airbrush the yellow and paint the purple, but that would, for me, would lose the flow and the contrast and the nice blending he's gotten on these models. But the things that really pop for me is just the general colour scheme. The yellow is so nice in with the purple. It's not a colour scheme I'd have picked, I don't think, but it's not one I'd have thought of either. So he's done a great job here. Thank you very much, Liam. Do check out all his links below. If you want to support him and follow him, make sure to do so. The second set of models are the Custodes. These were painted for me by Medders Miniatures. He's done some great work before. I've seen him do some Custodes in a commission piece, and that's what made me think to drop him a message. Check out all the links below for his stuff. He's got an Instagram there, he's got a Facebook page as well, and a small YouTube site. Make sure to give him a follow and a subscribe if you like his work. I don't know John very well. I did meet him one time on an airbrush course in Norwich about 2 years ago now. We were both on the same course by Miles from Little Legend Studios, and it was generally focused on airbrushing, although a few other bits as well. But yeah, I dropped him a message. He agreed to do this. He's quite busy, but I think he's filled these in alongside the commission job he was doing on other Custodes at the time. So really grateful. Thank you, Medders, for joining in this video. How do the models look? Well, you can see for yourself. The gold is stunning. It goes from really light to really dark. It's quite matte. It has like a brown kind of feel to it. You can see, I think he's used some oils here, which has got some nice effect and nice sort of blends, like a pin-washed oils in on all the recesses on these models. And then it's gone for the purple on the hair and the tassels and stuff. It tends to be purple or red, right, on these guys. So has done pretty much exactly what I expected Custodes would come out as. They're gold. I let him do his own thing on this. The only specific thing he mentioned was he wanted a couple of helmetless heads so he could do his skin tones, and the skin tones look excellent. I've not really done a lot with skin tones myself. I do darker or lighter with a wash and a couple of blends. Bit static, bit old-fashioned, I guess, but they're kind of the way we're shown to do it. He's gone for some nice purples and has really mixed up the colours on the face. So it's kind of like some nice light into dark. They look a bit angry, they look a little bit cold, which is a really nice feel. I'm glad they're not super shiny as well, they're quite matte. But the main thing on these models that stands out for me is the blades. I can see exactly what he's done with the blades. It's not something I've ever done, not something I've ever really practiced, but it's that kind of like light to dark on opposite ends on each of the swords, stuff like that. It's an absolutely beautiful technique done really, really well. They really pop on the models, as Custodes, to be fair, don't have a lot of different scope for various colors on them. I mean, you can paint some armor panels, different things, but the way he's done these guys, the focus really is on the heads and the blades, and they just look awesome on camera. I'm sure you guys would agree. If you like them, make sure to follow him, check out his links. The third set of models are some Deathwatch Space Marines. These were painted for me by Lennycraftit. Check him out on Instagram. He has some PDFs there showing you how he paints his models, how to paint along, and he does some tuition as well. He himself is not a commission painter, but actually we ended up chatting somehow, I have no idea, and we got to talking about this video, and he said he'd love to send me some models over, and I was more than happy to oblige, because I've seen his work online and it just looks great. It looks awesome. The Deathwatch, I think, were some of the models he was quite keen to do, and he has done an absolutely amazing job. I sent him the box set, a couple of loadouts, and he himself actually said, would you like some Primaris guys? I just said the 5 basic guys, it's basically 100-point kill team. But he said, I've got some Primaris dudes, I'll send them over as well, and he's in fact done some conversions. He's done quite a lot of converting on these guys to give them some real individual character. You can see that one thing I wasn't really expecting, I completely forgot about Deathwatch, is they're just all from different factions. So each of them really has brought their own element of what their faction was, like Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Flesh Terrors, whatever, along into the models. The Dark Angel one, particularly, I know he spent a bit of time with using the Dark Angel shield. It's got all the cloaks and the robes. All the shoulder pads are excellent. I haven't painted that many Space Marine chapters, and he has done a really, really good job with it. What other things do I love about these models? Well, the Xenophase blade on the leader there looks like a really cool Necron Tomb World blade. It looks like a Necron Tomb blade. It's got the little dots of light green going into a dark green, really nice blending as well. It's absolutely stunning. Not only that, he converted all of the Primaris guys. He's done a chain axe rather than a chainsword. I mean, it would use as a chainsword, but that is on a Flesh Terror dude. He looks straight out of Star Wars, looks like Darth Vader with his helmet off. He looks angry, he looks pale, he looks a bit dead, and he looks a bit vampire-y, which is perfect for the flesh tearers. I really like the use of colours on all of the shoulder pads. Again, I left it completely down to what he wanted to do in regards to the models other than the loadouts, and he has done an absolutely terrific job. So do make sure to check out his Instagram page if you like his stuff. I follow along to his channel, make sure you do as well, because I think they're absolutely beautiful. So thank you, Lenny, for sending me these models. Last, but very much not the least important, are the Tau. These were painted for me by Ben from Renew Models. He is my brother, I will point that out now. He will, if you send models to him, strip them using a sandblaster and then can either send them straight back or paint them and send them back. So it's a really, really cool service. I know a bit about this and I can give an honest opinion that it does work and it's a great thing. Check out a video I did about a year ago because I myself used to do the same thing. Not only does he strip, he will paint as well. Check out his Facebook and his Instagram down there. All the prices for the stripping are up. You can see them. They're very open and upfront. Check them out on his Facebook. If you want him to do some commission work, drop a message as well and he will do so for you. On to the models. They look awesome. I'm not really a fan of Tau generally, but these guys just look amazing. I left him with his own color scheme. He's come up with kind of a yellow, brown, deserty, sandy kind of color. It's not a color I'd have picked necessarily for Tau. It's a little bit different to the usual Tau schemes because they're quite weathered. They're like chipped rather than muddy and spongy. They're all chipped and lined and they look like they've been in a firefight. So they look quite tough and cool. Not only did I send him some models, he actually blasted those for me. He sent another set load back with him as well and some crew. So this is an absolutely huge commission job, to be fair. There are, what, 40 models here, including drones and all sorts as well. So this is a really big job, bigger than all the other ones. Obviously, he's my brother, so I do appreciate that. So thanks, Ben. I can't wait for you to paint all my Imperial Fists for me for free as well. Lol. What do I like about these? I think the yellow is really good. I've known Ben as a painter since I was painting. We all started together, and his painting, we used to all kind of be neck and neck with my other brother as well. But his painting has surpassed mine by miles now, and I know how much he worked and how much time he has spent improving his techniques. You can see from these, not only do we have a really, really beautiful yellow, we've got a lovely brown load of clothes as well. And there are Crute in there, just chucked in some random green with worn plates. And that just shows a whole different side to his painting, because that's very much brushwork there alongside the airbrush. I don't know how he manages to do all this so quickly and so well, but he just does. I love the use of the blue popping against the yellow with the browns as well. It's just a really nice color palette. The armor is quite shiny, which is really cool, and the rest of it is very matte. How he's done that, I don't know. It looks like some sort of inks as well, I think, in the opaque inks. Drop him an email, follow along his stuff if you want to paint some models, because they just look awesome. Well, there you have it. That's all of the models. I spoke a bit about each painter, and you've seen them all in great detail now. What do you think of the jobs? I think they're all well above what I can do, and certainly, given the lack of time I have, I can't even really spend the time to learn to do them that way. Have you guys used commission painters yourselves? What were your experiences like? Are you commission painters yourself? How do you feel about pricing, about abilities, about time frames? All of these guys came back with the models quite quickly once we got through it all. I mean, COVID was a bit of a blocker, but once I got the models delivered to them all, they all came back within a month. For me, commission painting has its pros and cons. Pros, obviously, is you get people who can paint a lot better than you to paint your models. Whether or not you want them to paint a whole army for you, or just a single display piece, your favorite model, your favorite character from a series, and show it off to all of your friends, or just sit there and have something beautiful to look at. The other thing is it requires no time. I am paying someone else to save my time that I don't have to do a job probably better than I can do it. I guess some of the cons here are the models, although I have them all, they don't really feel like they're my models. Certainly not yet, I've not played with them. They feel very much like they've been painted by someone else for me, which is absolutely fine in Killteam, and that's why I've done it this way, because I don't really tend on adding to them, but if I did want to add more to them, I'd either have to probably use the same commission painter. Maybe they'll share their schemes and techniques with me and I can try to replicate, but the problem is I'm not really going to be able to replicate someone else's work because I just don't have the same ability or skills or equipment that they have, or paints or whatever, to do the same job. I suppose another con that I haven't mentioned, and I certainly don't feel any of these guys would ever do that, is the trust. You're sending people models, you're sending them money, expecting them to do a job and send it back. Now, there are, of course, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 where people don't do that, and that is a risk you're taking. We have a lot of support now from PayPal and eBay and all sorts of other things. We're quite well protected as people with spending money. If I was to send more models to people for commission painting, I would want some references, or certainly, check out the show reel of work. I hope this shows to you how different people are and how different their skills are. Not that any of them necessarily worse or better than others, but they just have different ways of painting. You can see that in these. Some are more brushwork, some are more airbrush, some are a mix. And it really goes to show that you will get different jobs back despite the quality of the painters. So make sure you're checking out a repertoire of work if you're going to get some work done. If you yourself want to be a commission painter, I hope you found this video useful and we spoke about some topics that maybe you haven't thought about, but postage is expensive. I guess being self-employed, you've got taxes to be declaring, you've got your time, you've got money. Can you take 5 commissions in one go? Probably not. Does it turn a hobby into a job? Yes. For me, just doing this studio and stuff has really changed my outlook on the hobby. It's less about painting and enjoying and playing games and more about editing and working now, which is fine, and it's something I'm happy with, but it does change the way you look at the hobby. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please do remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the alarm bell below for more videos. Check out all the links below. There are the other painters and all their stuff there, but alongside that, there's my own Patreon that allows you into a Discord group with some extra bits and added value and a lovely way for everyone to chat and all get along and talk about new videos and things I've got coming up. Check out the Amazon shop as well. I get a few % back from that. And there are also links to Element Games and Grim Dice Gaming to buy your models and other hobby stuff as well. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.